In 1994, France banned DNA testing because it had the potential to break up too many families.
Let that sink in. France literally banned men from finding out if their children are actually theirs because the truth would destroy too many families. Think about what this means. The government is actively protecting women's ability to commit paternity fraud because the alternative would expose how widespread female infidelity actually is. They're literally prioritizing women's lies over men's right to know if they're raising their own biological children. This is state-sponsored cuckoldry, and it tells you everything you need to know about how the system views men as expendable resources whose feelings and rights don't matter as long as women and children are taken care of.
Even today, at-home DNA tests like 23andMe are banned in France. Because in France, 5 out of 10 men and 4 out of 10 women admit to cheating on their partner.
Do you know what today is? It's my child support day. Hey, I got a check. Hey.
And in the case of 23-year-old Cassie Marcus, you are not.
I ain't gonna run off.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's an evil world we live in.
So I see these clips of all these women talking about where have the providers and protectors gone. Let a 60-year-old man tell you young men out there from experience. 3 different marriages, 10 different kids, 7 of them step. You get nothing out of being a provider or a protector. Nothing.
DNA testing at birth.
Mandatory.
Mandatory DNA testing at birth. I don't agree with that.
Check that baby. Like what? Check that baby. I don't care what nobody say. Check that baby. You never know. You never know.
But
so today is Friday and I got my child support check and I don't know what to spend it on.
My baby daddy's trying to get out of paying child support, so he's making me get a DNA test for our youngest kid. You guys are so quick to jump to conclusions. I only got $3,000 a month from him. That was $36,000 a year. That's not enough to live off of.
In the case of 22-year-old Jessica Marcus, you are not.
Every time you see one of these Maury clicks, you're witnessing the tip of the iceberg. For every man who gets the courage to demand a paternity test on national television, there are thousands more who are unknowingly raising another man's child. Studies show that between 10 to 30% of men are unknowingly raising children that aren't biologically theirs. That means roughly 1 in 4 fathers are victims of paternity fraud. This isn't rare, this is epidemic. And the system is designed to keep men in the dark about it.
For 6 months.
Come spend my child support check with me. Boy, this weekend we had a time and it was all on that man's dime.
Why the am I so in love with a man who wants nothing to do with me? Nothing. He wants nothing. And I'm over here like, no! No, Chloe, what are you doing?
Hey guys, so, unpopular opinion, a DNA test should be mandatory for any male that wants to be placed on a child's birth certificate.
Finally, someone with common sense. But notice how she frames it as unpopular opinion, because we live in a society where suggesting that men should know if they're actually the father of their children is somehow controversial. The fact that this is even debatable shows how genocentric our culture is. Mandatory paternity testing would solve this problem overnight, but it will never happen because it would expose the true nature of female behavior and collapse the entire family court system that depends on men paying for children that aren't theirs.
I know like a lot of people aren't gonna like that, but if it was just something that was mandatory, it should just be no argument, no nothing. If it's his child, it's his child. And if it's not, there's just so much more that goes into just like knowing who you are and your identity based off of both of your parents. Like, I was just thinking about it because there was a video that went viral about a man that went to jail for not paying child support for a child that wasn't even his. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
Come spend a day with me living on my child support. So I wake up and I instantly pray to the gods. I manifest that my baby daddy gets a better job so I can have more child support.
So here's a doozy of a question. Can I put my boyfriend on my child's birth certificate, even though we both know he's not really the bio dad? So, yeah, you can do it. No one is going to stop you, but you need to know that it is paternity fraud, and you're not being really fair to everyone involved, including your child. Okay? There's now websites, 23andMe, Ancestry.com. What about in later life when your child discovers, if they go on one of these websites and takes a paternity test or genetic marker test, that your boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, whatever the case may be, is not really his or her dad? Is that really fair to your child? Lying? No.
I've just come out of a marriage, and my life is really just all over the place, and it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot for me, so it'd be a lot for a potential partner to have to deal with me. And I mean, like, I literally think that last week I had some sort of mental breakdown, but I'm fine again now.
If a nigga asks you for a DNA test, that means he know you a little ran through. I'm sorry. He don't trust your ass as far as he can throw you. Cause not like that, nigga not gonna just ask you for no DNA test. Especially if y'all in a relationship, he's not finna just ask you for no DNA test.
My child support check, and I don't know what to spend it on. I'm gonna go leave my kids at their grandmother's house, and I'm probably gonna go out drinking with my husband, go out and gamble a little bit, maybe go shopping. The kids don't need anything because I provide everything for them, so I might just go ahead and splurge on myself with my little child support check. What do you girls do when you get child support?
DNA test has done more harm than good to the society. At this point, make them ban DNA test. In fact, everybody should stop conducting DNA tests.
Are you kidding me? That all of this financial burden with my children is on me?
Here in my hand is my child support check that I have been waiting on.
What you just witnessed is the most brutal black pill about modern relationships. Paternity fraud is not only common, it's systematically protected by governments and celebrated by women. This isn't about a few bad apples. This is about a system that has been designed from the ground up to extract resources from men while giving women unlimited power to deceive them about the most fundamental aspect of fatherhood. Let's break down what's really happening here. These women are openly bragging about living off child support payments while admitting they don't even know who the father is. They're treating paternity fraud like it's a normal part of dating strategy. They're literally coaching each other on how to put random men on birth certificates to secure financial support. This is organized crime disguised as single motherhood. The most insidious part is how the system enables this behavior. Family courts don't care about DNA evidence once a man has been established as the legal father. Even if you discover years later that the child isn't yours, you're still on the hook for child support. The courts have literally ruled that biological parentage is less important than the best interests of the child, which is code for someone needs to pay, and it might as well be you. This is why marriage is a scam in the modern world. You're not just risking half your assets in divorce, you're risking being financially responsible for children that might not even be yours. And the woman faces zero consequences for this deception. She gets to keep the money, keep the kids, and move on to the next victim while you're stuck paying for another man's child until they turn 18. The France example is particularly telling because it shows this isn't accidental, it's intentional policy. Governments know that if men had easy access to paternity testing, the entire welfare system would collapse. Too many women would be exposed as frauds, too many men would stop paying child support, and too many children would lose their financial support. So instead of holding women accountable for their dissection, they've decided to keep men in the dark and make them pay regardless. This is the ultimate example of how genocentric society has become. Men's rights to know their own biological children are considered less important than women's rights to deceive them. Men's financial resources are considered communal property that can be redistributed to any woman who claims to need them. Men's emotional well-being is completely irrelevant as long as the checks keep coming. The black pill truth is that this system will never change because too many people benefit from it. Women get free money, children get financial support, and governments get to avoid paying welfare. The only losers are the men who work their entire lives to support children that aren't theirs, and society has decided that their sacrifice is acceptable collateral damage. This is why the marriage rate is collapsing. This is why birth rates are declining. This is why men are checking out of relationships entirely. They're not avoiding commitment because they're immature, they're avoiding it because they've finally figured out that the game is rigged against them from the start. Every man watching this needs to understand that you are one lie away from 18 years of financial slavery. Every woman you date has the power to destroy your life with a single false claim about paternity. And the system will not only allow her to do it, it will actively help her do it and punish you for questioning it. The solution is simple: never sign a birth certificate without a paternity test. Never trust a woman's word about paternity. Never assume that just because you're in a relationship, she's being faithful. And never, ever get married in a system that treats men as disposable resources whose only value is their ability to pay for other people's mistakes. This is the reality of modern relationships. Because when the system is this rigged against you, the only winning move is not to play.